you. I heart you. I heart you. Oh, yeah, I need you. I heart you. I heart you. I heart you. Oh, yeah, I need you. Hey.
First of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're super excited.
I loved it. Go ahead and talk about kind of the concept for the show. Go ahead and take turns.
Well, as you probably know, Dee Dee's the designer, so what I try to do is let her work on what she's good at, which is making those dresses, and they're amazing. So from my point of view, I try to do the production side of the show, and in this case, it's trying to do justice to the dresses, because there's a lot of backstory to it, and it's amazing dresses, and I get so excited to see them, but it's like, how do you do them justice? So we really tried to take it beyond just a bridal show and make it where you could have a real theatrical feel to it, where people that were sitting there would get stuff that they wouldn't necessarily expect when seeing wedding dresses. And so I think we really achieved that between the makeup and the music and everything. So we're really, really excited.
The concept behind Dalola is I actually design a dress for each person that has been a part of my life and has helped kind of my journey of becoming a designer and a person. And so when I think of somebody, I put it into art, and that's what comes down the runway. Dalola is actually a combination of my mother, who was brutally killed by domestic violence in '86, and me. I was her only daughter. And I took my sadness and my life story and put it into wedding dresses, and that's where I feel most comfortable, is behind a sewing machine and making patterns. And I just happen to be blessed with a man who knows how to do great marketing and believes behind the product. So, Colorado Fashion Week, I saw the concept of it and got so excited about it. And because one of the things that I get the most of when I go buy fabric, I buy fabrics from all over the world, and everyone goes, Colorado? And I'm like, yes, Colorado. And so some people don't even know where Colorado's at.
You literally have to say between New York and LA.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally had to say that to somebody. They were from Japan,
yeah,
and they're like, where's
Japan,
Colorado?
where's
I was like,
Colorado?
you know where New York is? Do you know where LA is? It's in between. They're like, oh, good, very good. You want to buy our stuff. That's all I care about. But
so the excitement of Colorado Fashion Week was something that I couldn't pass up. I was like, I think Colorado needs this, and we've got some great designers and designers worthy of being noticed in the U.S. So definitely I was on board and excited 100%.
you know, Justice has done a great job with Colorado Fashion Week. He's really followed through on his vision, which can be difficult. I mean, there's a lot of naysayers saying, oh, you can't put on a fashion week in Colorado. You're not the person to do it. You know, I put on a big fashion show last year, and it was hard. It's a lot of work, and Justice has done a great job. I think that this fashion week will just go on to next year, and we'll see something just even more, you know, noteworthy of what should a fashion week really should be. So
I think brides today are wanting an individual look. They're like the intensity of the dress, because of the shows that are out there, are even more so, and the pressure to find the dress is on. And so I offer the concept of being able to come up with something totally different that no one will have, for sure.
And you know, when girls are starting to spend more and more on dresses, even when the economy's bad, they're wanting something a little bit more than just going to the store and getting what somebody else has already purchased. I mean, we deal with a lot of brides as well, and the last thing they want to hear is that we've seen their dress before. So with us, they literally can take a dress, yeah, it might be part of our collection, but we can change certain aspects of the dress to make it individualized just for them. That's something that nobody else in all of Colorado can do. We have a showroom where they can see the work, they can pick something out of our collection, they can have something custom created from scratch, or change one of our designs. So I think that brides, and within a price point that's competitive with everything else on the premium dress market. So.
Yes, I go over their venue, who they are. If they choose to have a custom design, I sketch up everything for them. And we kind of go through the selections, even fabric selections and such. And it ends up being something that builds together through the process.
I guess the last thing is, we're kind of using this as a kickstart to new foundation that we're going to be looking at starting. It's going to be called Designers Against Domestic Violence. And so, as you've heard already, that Dalola really has a foundation and an inspiration from, you know, what that kind of environment creates. And so with that, we're going to create a new foundation that helps people, especially women and children that have been victims of domestic violence themselves. So this is really kind of our first baby step into being able to do that. And I think our feedback's been immense, and it's going to be a great thing, I think, in the long run. I think you'll see a lot more from Designers Against Domestic Violence as well. So I would imagine it'll be a big part of next year's Colorado Fashion Week. So.
Oh, yes, it was great. I love the hint of vintage and the modern woman. Dee has beautiful designs, and I think that they'll reach a lot of her brides. I think it's very important. I mean, bridal fashion is a big piece of what's happening in the fashion community, and it's great that we're promoting local Colorado designers here, Denver area, so this is a great thing to see, and I hope that there's even more of it next year. I think my favorite piece was about midway through the show. It had a hint of vintage with a beautiful brocade sparkle underneath, beautiful overlay and a chiffon on top. I think that was one of my favorite pieces, just like this really lovely Mad Men Gets Married kind of feel. So,
I think it was great. Dalola Couture is the future of wedding fashion, I think, and I think it's amazing. It's coming from Denver of all places, and I think Dee Vickery is an extremely talented designer, and she really has an eye for what's coming up, and she's also, I think she's really done a great job of finding things from the past and bringing them to the fore and reinventing some older looks and bringing them back. So I think that she's definitely going to be someone we want to keep an eye on, and it's going to be refreshing having someone from Colorado, I think, have that type of presence. So. I'm torn. I think probably the short cocktail dress with the bolero that was laced with the sash. I was a big fan of that. Obviously the marquee dress at the very end, I thought that was fantastic. Obviously, a lot of labor went into building that, and so it was an intense build. A couple of the 20s retro style dresses I thought were phenomenal as well. So hard to choose. There's so many good looks. It's difficult to have a favorite. I think bridal is a key thing, especially in a place like Colorado, because it's a destination place to come to have weddings, and also people here go other places to have weddings. So I think that's a huge component of it. And I think it's something that kind of gets overlooked. We see it in magazines, we see it in bridal magazines, we see it in wedding shops, but we don't see it on the runway as frequently as we should, so it's very refreshing, I think.
so they're fabulous.
It was so
gorgeous.
Yeah.
The pockets. Oh my gosh. Every bride loves pockets. There's your lipstick. If you need a little mirror, you've got it in your pocket. No need for a bridesmaid. I've got a pocket. They are so well crafted. They're flawless. Along with being, they're fabulously designed and beautiful, but absolutely flawless.
Oh my gosh, my dress was the ivory dress with the bronze buttons down the back, with the bronze bow, with all the sheer top and the sheer sleeves. Do you know how hard it is to get a bridal dress with sleeves? I'm sure you know. Good job. And it was literally, took my breath away. The fabric was crunched and thick, which is so hot right now. I loved it. I mean, they're beautiful. Dee, she literally is one of the top seamstresses in Denver, so she sees all the goodies come through all the time. So she knows she's 100% on top of what's, in and hot right now in bridal fashion. I mean, it was beautiful. We're really proud to be from Denver. We love this city, and we're proud to have talent here. There's lots of it, and it's awesome that it's being showcased.
Yeah. Denver Fashion Week.
Which was your favorite dress?
I have to say one of the billowy taffeta dresses was my favorite with the red tie on it. I'm usually a little bit more traditional with them, but for the reception, I would love to throw some color in a dress. I think that would be a lot of fun. A fun way to tie it in. Very outside of the box, very untraditional, but I like it. She mixes, her taffetas with her laces, some color with white. One of the dresses was a very dark ivory, which I really liked. It looked amazing on the model. This is not something that I generally, think of Denver as, a fashion week, let alone bridal, so I'm very excited to see that these things are being brought to Denver.
Oh, I thought the show was fantastic. Dee Dee's one of my really dear friends and a fantastic designer, and it was actually one of my first times seeing her do a full show, and so I was really impressed because I'm a showman myself, and that's one of the things that got myself into fashion was fashion shows that seduced me into it. So I watched every fashion show from between here, like in 1988, you know what I mean? But Dee Dee did an awesome job. I just loved her show. She has her certain part in the industry, the wedding industry, and it's a big industry. I mean, who doesn't get married every year? 100 women every year, just in this state alone, almost. You know what I mean? But just her clothes and just, it's amazing. I mean, I go to tons of weddings. Everyone goes to tons of weddings, but Dee Dee's wedding dresses are statement making, and they're just, everyone will remember that wedding if they go to it. So I think it was an awesome show. I was really impressed. They're unique, and she's a designer. And I know every wedding dress is designed, but most of them are just manufactured in A-line skirts and a basic bandeau top. I mean, nothing to the imagination. But when a designer, especially, not even an up-and-coming designer, but a young designer, someone that has a vision, and she specifically, such as Dee Dee, goes towards wedding, she totally hits it out of the ballpark. She listens to the client, but you see her dress and you're like, that's a Dee Dee dress, that's a Dalola dress. And I've seen her and I've seen her dresses, and we go to 1 million weddings a year, but you only remember 3 of them. That's kind of the statistic, you know what I mean? 2 to 3 of them. And why? Because of the dress. But she does it. And she does a very difficult part of the industry, which is the wedding couture. But she does it, and she does it like a rock star. And I'm beyond proud of her. It's just awesome. God, everyone's been asking me if I had a favorite dress of the night. I mean, God, no, there's not a favorite one. I mean, there was a short polka dot dress with the cream one, but it was polka dot, but it had the tulle peeking out, but it had the salmon-colored heels with the matching bow tie, or the matching bow at the waist. That was really, because it was fun, and it was fresh, and had energy, and that's what's fun. I mean, you see these wedding dresses, and they're so boring all the time, you know what I mean, on TV, and I won't even mention the shows, but there's 100 bridal shows, and I watch them all because I'm a reality freak, but that was a really fun dress. The last dress with the circle cutouts on the bottom and the simple top. Amazing. And then the actual finale dress with the green. I mean, again, but I've seen her working on these dresses, and being a designer myself, I just know how much energy it takes to put into a dress. And these are beyond a simple sheath dress that I would make.
Dee Dee is a dressmaker. She's been working on wedding dresses for all of her life, all of her adult life. So she knows wedding dresses inside and out. She sometimes designs in a retro style. You can see from a lot of her clothing, but she does add modern elements to it, and it's really fun. And brides who come into her shop really love the whole aspect of being able to be fitted for a custom dress and to have a custom dress made for them. And Dee Dee is really great with people, and she's a great designer. And so, I mean, her show was fantastic tonight. My favorite dress from the Dee Dee collection was this 4-ply crepe off-white dress that had asymmetrical shoulders happening with gathers on one side, and kind of a ballooning at the waist, and just a really slim kind of Grecian figure.
It's been good. It's been very good. The audience has been very supportive. One of the things I was going for was to see how the community will respond to it. And I think so far it's been very positive and very, very encouraging. And we've been listening a lot to the community in terms of the feedback. And I'm taking every feedback I get and applying it in the moment with that sense of immediacy. So very good so far.
Fantastic. And what did you think of Dalola's show?
I thought Dalola's show was pretty spectacular. It's a really amazing collection, very comprehensive, from ideation to execution to presentation. Everything came together very, very well. The choice of models, the choice of song, light, the mood, the aura. I was very impressed with her work. I loved what I see, and I think that label, that brand has a lot of potential. I I love it, and this is why I love it, because she comes from more of like a seamstress background, a strong background in seamstress, and so therefore, in other words, construction. So that therefore is everything. That attention to detail, how garments are put together, how they are executed, and you could see that. You could see that in her in the collection. Um, I've been to her design studio, and she designs more from feel. She takes the fabrics, she has an idea, and she begins to execute, and I love that in terms of her style of design. The Lola, obviously, the showpiece. um, I love that dress. And my second favorite is the Ivy dress, which was worn by model Anna Metisari, and it was also a beautiful dress. See, that's my favorite. There was a third piece that I don't remember the name, but it was a little reminiscent of Piper Middleton's wedding gown on Kate Middleton's wedding day, what she was wearing, just so sexy and beautiful. So these are my three favorites, but the Lola comes first. With Didi, I love the fact that she's based out of Colorado, and but then the work that she's doing is up to par on it from with so many other designers in different markets like LA, New York, Miami, London, you name it. And I'm not trying to over exaggerate or anything. I really mean it, because she gets what she's doing, she knows what she's doing, and I love that. And my vision with Colorado Fashion Week and the designers who present like Didi is to really continue to help further position the brand, continue to help them get it out there so that the world gets to see the beauty and the potential of the label. So I love that, and I think that a year from now, you Didi will not, the Lola Couture brand will be somewhere higher than it is now.